Hello friends, this is Shelly from Koala Knits, and if you haven't already seen my video on this beautiful scarf with a deer embellishment on it, duplicate stitching, go ahead and look for that on my channel, and you might want to make a couple of these. They're beautiful and really quite easy to make. Takes some time, but not too much. It whips, once you do it once, it whips up quite nicely for you. So anyways, I had mentioned in the video when I made this scarf that I would post the chart for it and do it along with you. I did attempt to try to do it along from the beginning to the end and to do it on camera, but there's a lot of turning and there's a lot of it just made for too long of a video, and so I opted out of that, and I decided I'm just going to post the chart and I'm just going to say a few things about it and then let you go to town on it. You can look up my video on how to do a duplicate stitch, and that's the stitch that I used for this. So learn how to do the basic duplicate stitch and you'll be able to do this with no problem. You just want to make sure that you find the middle of your project. You're going to always use the row where the point is at the bottom and the wide end is at the top. When you're doing your duplicate stitch, that's the row that you do. You don't use one like this where the point is up on the top and the wide part is at the bottom. Always choose the row again with the point on the bottom, the wide part of your stitch on the top. And so then when you're looking at your chart here, which will be I've got this further on in the video too, so you'll be able to see it. But this is where I start with the number 1 row, and you start over here, and then you do your 3 stitches over, which is how I do it. And then I carry my yarn across in between the 2 layers across to here, and I go down this row. Then I carry it across, and I go this way. I find that if I'm going back and forth, I get really. Honestly, I get a little confused. I want to make sure it's in the exact right spot that it's supposed to be. So I personally like to draw my yarn over to the far right and always go from right to left on every row. So then when I get up to this, let's see, where am I? When I got up to this section here, I branched off and I finished this whole thing. And then I changed my yarn and I branched off, and then I finished this one as well, instead of carrying my yarn from here to here and then back again. It was just too far. So, oh, I bet you my hand is in the way when I'm doing this, but hopefully not. I will look at this video, and if I need to edit it, I will. But anyways, so carry your yarn across up till about here, maybe even this row, and then do a separate piece of yarn for this piece and this piece, and it'll be no problem. Okay, so also when you are finishing off, whenever you have yarn and you're bringing it through to the back to tie it off, never just tie a knot here and then weave it in, because number 1, you'll see the knot, but number 2, you don't want any loose thread underneath here that can, if this was the end of the thread and I just tied a little knot and pulled it through, I don't want this to get loose at all. So I showed you in the duplicate stitch video how I tie that off. I actually bring it right through one end through the point of one stitch, and then the other end through the point of the other one, so that bar is there, and I tie that knot right around that bar. I'm not tying it too tight, because then it'll pull on the stitch at the front, and then I work that yarn in. If that doesn't make sense to you, just by me showing it this way, then go and look at that video and you'll see how I've done that. I think it's very important when you're doing duplicate stitching, because you want these stitches to stay firm. Okay, so that is how I did the deer, and you go ahead and take a screenshot of that pattern and write it out for yourself. And happy knitting, my friends. I hope that you show us your projects on some of the groups that we're all on. I'd love to see. Take care. Bye-bye.